recording right now.
Like a black box.
Yeah. And you can go through your different settings, your different ride modes. Yeah, track. All right.
And you can change the exhaust note too, right?
I can, but I took the fuse out because I want it to stay loud. It always goes to touring, so when you start it up, it's not. There's your line lock. And I never run it without the nannies on, so I'm
What do you
turning
mean
them
by the
back on.
nannies?
Basically everything that is a helper when you drive. So you have to turn off your traction control and steering stability. You have to turn that off in order to do that line lock. And then what you do is you can rev the engine. It doesn't matter what button you press and in what order, but you got to press one, and then the next one you press, it'll release the front brakes.
That's serious power right there.
Yeah, it's not too shabby.
That line lock, it locks, it basically
Just the front
locks,
wheels.
locks them up.
Yeah, just
So
the
you can
front.
do
So
the
you
burnout.
you can still do a burnout, but it's not good for any car really to hold your brakes and then
Right.
I forgot what they call it, but it's not power braking. I'll just go up to
Good
like the
ride.
next. Oh yeah, I mean, when I put it in touring, okay, there's touring. I mean, it's just nice and smooth, and
Sure is.
we'll hit a few little bumps up here, and you think, I don't know, you might think you're in an Impala or something.
Smooth.
Yeah, very.
There's a little bump right here. It's always a good test.
It's not bad. When I come back over here to track, and that doesn't mean that I've turned off any nannies. That just means it's stiffened the suspension. So when I straighten out here, I'll do just a little wiggle, and it has next to no roll whatsoever because it's got the magnetic ride control. And what that does is it keeps you level. See that? I mean, we're planted.
Oh yeah.
And if you see this thing from a decent, maybe 20 feet back or so, you see those 305s in the rear. They're just insane.
Massive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a lot of Alcantara on it. I kind of prefer leather. I'm kind of afraid to touch certain things. Like to put my arm up here, I'm afraid,
Big mark.
it'll leave a mark. Yeah, now the armrest is perfect. It's leather. The SS has the leather wheel. It's got some leather in the seats. Let's see if you can feel that.
That was that star just lit up in your mirror. What is that?
Oh, that just lets you know that something's next to you.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Can you feel anything in your back or the seat?
Cool.
Yeah. It's just air. It's not refrigerated or anything. It's just air.
Still feels good.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I feel it more in my butt, and then other times I feel it more in my back.
Man, these seats just like hug.
Yeah, Mustang does it too. They've got a deal with Recaro, and they, information center. It'll tell me what my speed limit should be in this area. It's saying 70 right now. It's got the what do you call it? Heads-up display, and you can change it between 3 or 4 different settings.
You mean on the windshield?
Yeah, it looks like it's out about where the front of the car will be, and you can adjust, I think, 3 or 4 different settings.
So it's pretty much fully loaded. There's
Oh yeah, the ZL1 is the top of the line. It's got 10, it's a 10-speed automatic. Now I can flip this over or I can use paddle shifters, but why would you want to? It goes through the gears so fast that the car does a much better job of handling the management, power management, puts it right where it should be. And if your rear tires, now in the very beginning when you take off, they may spin a little bit.
right.
But once you get going, it's going to keep you straight. And if this was like an older car,
Right.
it'd be real easy to wrap it around a
Sure.
tree.
Absolutely.
650 horsepower, it can get away from you.
Oh yeah, it gets squirrely.
Yeah.
And it's not supercharged. Is it supercharged?
Yeah, it is. It's basically an SS with a supercharger on it. So that bumps it from 455 to 650. The brakes are really good. The rotors are over 15 inches in the front. It's crazy.
Massive.
You can barely see through the wheel, even though they're real low profile.
Because of the rotors.
Yeah, they're just so crazy big.
Well, it's built for the track.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It really, really is. People might say that, but people are taking these to drag strips in a minute. Now, I've done nothing to the performance. Nothing. I just changed the
You mean
little
drag
side mirror.
racing, like quarter mile
Yeah,
and stuff?
yeah. I've
What?
seen these, especially on straightaways. I mean, it handles really good in a turn. I've not tested it because I just don't feel comfortable.
Sure.
In a turn, I know what my little red car will do. And it's pretty good, actually. And this has got a whole lot more rubber. Plus, it's got the magnetic ride. And what it does is, as soon as I can wiggle the wheel just a little bit, and I can see up on the screen, it's like 0.03 or whatever G's of force. So what it does is it stiffens that shock. And it does, you know how a shock works, basically. What it does is there's a coil around it, and there's tiny metal particulates suspended in the oil. When that coil is energized, depending on how much it's energized, it will thicken or thin the viscosity of the oil that's in the shock. And it does it in microseconds. So if you go to turn quick or whatever, it keeps the car flat. Like I said, there's like next to no roll.
Right.
And in doing so, when you go into a curve and you got to let off the gas, not all the weight's going to shift to the front corner. It's going to keep it fairly planted amongst all 4 wheels. And between that and the fat tires on it, it hugs the road like crazy. I've not pushed it. I'd have to have somewhere that, has a barrier.
Sure. It's an engineering marvel.
It is. They really push the limit with this car. Even I test drove the SS. It is no slouch. It's the most powerful Camaro they've put out yet.
What's that? About 50?
Yeah, it's a little over 50. So I ask you, if you're already in the low 50s, because they have a 1SS and a 2SS, if you're already there, entry on these is around 62. I'm like, why would you not? I mean, I'm not saying everyone has money to throw around, but if you're that close already, why would you not want to? Because once you step to this tier, now you're not talking about, oh, do I get the lighted side sills? Do I get,
Get it all.
You get it all. The only thing you have to choose from is a 10-speed automatic or a 6 manual. And I'm not sure why anybody would want the 6 manual, because this spanks it. And the top speed on this is right at or just over 200.
Probably do every bit of it.
And the 6-speed doesn't quite have those extra gears it needs to get there. It'll still do like 180. I don't want to mess with shifting. I mean, you felt how fast it accelerates. I want to be hanging, hanging on. So, yeah.
Whoa, dog.
Kind of sad that you wouldn't give it a try.
Well,
I'm
no,
all
I
excited
just,
for you.
I don't.
You got to come over at least fired up. If you don't feel comfortable driving it, if you change your mind, that's fine. But just to see it, and you'll see the. Park it over here. You'll be able to see. Oh, that's not parking on that side. Okay. The heads up and just different stuff.
Wow.
Now the first thing it's going to do, and it may feel a little weird to you, is it's going to adjust the seat. But it will stop. Don't worry. It's not going to like crush you into the dash. So I'm going to go ahead and shut it down there. Okay.
I'll tell you what, I thought the Z06 was fast. This one's fun. It's got the same engine.
So unless you got the Z06, it's 300 pounds lighter. It is lower.